Hello everybody, and welcome to the BNI Roman podcast, or the Roman podcast. Haven't decided yet what we're going to call it.
I think just Roman.
Alright, here's Bryn Monk. Bryn Monk is from EvaStore Document Management.
I am.
And he's been a long-standing member of BNI. How long have you been a member of BNI, Bryn?
My first meeting was in 2008, so many years, come on to 17 years now.
A few years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only been a member for a year, so...
It'll soon pass. You will soon be sat in the chair saying I've been a member 20 years.
Yeah. Bryn, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? Where do you come from?
Right, well, my name is Bryn Monk. I come from Oswestry. I've lived here long enough now to be an honorary Oswestrian. So it is past 40 years I've been here. Away from work, I'm what you call perhaps a health and fitness obsessive. Mm-hmm. I believe in all things balance and health and wellness. I do long-form endurance challenges, triathlons, triathlon training really more. So I swim, cycle and run to excess. I'm about to undertake my mountain leader training to lead people in the mountains. And yeah.
And what's that really tough challenge that you do every year? What's it called?
Oh,
Ironman? No.
No, we do every year. I tend to do the National Three Peaks Challenge over a weekend for something to do. I've been working towards something called the Paddy Buckley Round now for 2 years, which is a very large-scale run within Snowdonia, whereby the aim is to summit 47 named tops within Snowdonia within one continuous run. You'll ascend around 28,000 feet. I'm looking to do that solo and self-supported.
Self-supported, what does that mean?
Self-supported actually means most people, when they undertake such a large challenge, will actually run with a team of pacers for various legs, and they will have a support crew meeting them at certain points during the run to top up their waters, give them food, give them nutrition, check on their wellness, and make sure they're okay. Obviously solo self-supported means I'll just be doing it entirely on my own and with no outside support at all.
It is. I mean, I love hiking. I love Snowdonia and Snowdon, but that's another level entirely. Wow. Fair dues.
Yes.
Have you done any training for it?
I have. I've been doing nothing but, because I've had rather an injury and illness prone last 2 years, which is the reason why I haven't. I was originally scheduled to do it last year, May 2024, but I got whooping cough, which took the year to recover from.
My wife had whooping cough last year as well.
I promise we weren't anywhere in the same vicinity, I promise Dan.
We were married then, so...
and then this year I've been suffering with a sciatic neural impingement for the last 9 months, which it just meant I wasn't able to run or sit down, cruelly enough. But apart from that, I was all right. So I've had to curtail my running somewhat and keep fit in other ways. Okay. But it will get done.
Good. I look forward to hearing about that being done.
Yes.
So, work. Obviously you work for EvaStore, but let's bring ourselves up to date. What's your background? How did you get to be in that chair talking to me?
What's the new term for it? Well, my journey. My journey here has been
your saga.
My saga. I came into sales back in 2008. I had just finished my first Ironman triathlon, and I was looking for a fresh challenge, and I quite literally stumbled into a sales job selling photocopiers and printers, and I love doing that. Basically, I'd found a job where I could just turn up and be myself for 9 hours, then go home again. That was it, and that's all sales actually is. And I did that for a number of years. I was very lucky then that the manufacturer of photocopiers I was working with at the time called me up and asked me to go and become their dealer manager in the south, which in a very nerdy sense was my dream job in the photocopier world. It really was. I would say that was going really well up until around March 2020, when for some reason photocopier sales really took a terrible dip. Something was happening in the world that meant people just weren't buying as many photocopiers as they used to. The end of 2020, however, my role became something of a COVID victim, and I was made redundant. I gave myself a couple of days feeling sorry for myself, which I felt I was entitled to. I actually then went online to a BNI meeting on the Wednesday morning. I think I went online then to a Shropshire Chamber meeting on the Thursday. And luckily enough, the general manager of EvaStore was notified that I was available and called me up and said, would I like to come and have a look at EvaStore? And that was really good, because what we find here, and we'll go into what EvaStore do, we store, shred and scan people's paperwork. And what you find is all the problems that customers needed solutions with the photocopier and printing industry, they're pretty much very much the same solutions that people experience with their document management. They want their paperwork to be secure, they want it to be efficient, and they want it to be taken care of compliantly. One of my former customers, however, coined a phrase and says, what I'm actually doing is carbon neutralizing myself. Because after 17 years of making paperwork by selling printers and photocopiers, I'm now going around to that paperwork and I'm storing it and I'm shredding it and I'm scanning it. So I've put it into circulation and now I'm taking it out of circulation.
That's a great racket.
It is. I am carbon neutralizing myself. I am my own environmental cleanup boy.
Very good. And so, yep, so that's what you do. And tell us about this place.
EvaStore.
What's going on behind that wall?
Behind the doors, yeah, behind the noisy doors, people coming and going. We're here in Oswestry Street, we've got a purpose-built facility. Simply put, the purpose-built facility is designed specifically to store paperwork. Paperwork needs to be kept in temperature and humidity consistent conditions, it needs to be kept very securely, and it needs to be kept very orderly. And that's exactly what our facility is designed to do. We currently got about 95,000 boxes of paperwork here. We've probably got room for another 30,000 inside here, so room for plenty more. Within the facility as well, we've obviously got secure destruction. So we take paperwork and we destroy it to a compliant manner. The British standard is British Standard 15713.
I knew that.
Yeah, I do ask questions later when I start spouting numbers. It might be noted as well, we're one of only a handful of companies who are actually accredited to the 2023 version of that accreditation. Most other companies are still going on 2009, the 2009 version. And if anyone wants any reminding of that, 2009 is when Windows 7 came out and when a youthful Joe Biden took on the role of the vice president's role to Barack Obama. So,
and you'd been in BNI for a year.
I had been in BNI for a year. So yes, that's the storage and destruction side. However, most of our attention and the expansion is now all in the scanning and digitization.
Yes.
We take people's paper and we scan it and we turn what is essentially a very analog item, paperwork, we turn it into a digital scanned item that people can use, they can share, they can sort of store securely, they can back up, and more we can extract the data from that paperwork. So what I do like to say is we tell companies all that information that they've forgotten, that they've been storing in filing cabinets all these years. We can actually bring that information to life, give them back their data, and give them new opportunities.
Happy days. Let's move on to BNI. So why did you join BNI in 2008, and how has it benefited your business?
Well, like always with me, Dan, there's always a longer story to absolutely everything.
We have time.
I was one of the very few people who actually wasn't invited to BNI. Most people will come along as the guest of an existing BNI member.
I was.
And they're able to pretty much thank them for introducing them to this part. I didn't. I was looking through the CRM system of the company I was working with. The salesperson I'd taken over from, who had done very, very well and was a very popular salesperson, I never actually got to meet him. But I was looking through his notes, and all his notes just seemed to contain the three letters BNI, BNI, BNI. So, being the man I am, I did a quick Google search on that, saw there was a networking meeting the following day out in Wrexham, and invited myself along to it. I walked on in and they asked me the question, who's invited you? I said, nobody, I've literally just turned up. So they gave me a name badge and a cup of coffee, and
that's amazing.
And that was that. And yes, I found these people, and that was that.
That's cool.
So that was my BNI introduction. And I like to say, to be fair, one of the reasons I've kept coming back to BNI more than the business itself, more than the business opportunities and the network, is the opportunity to learn to speak as well as you can. It's, as I always used to say, you're in a room full of people who want you to do well. And I would say the reason I'm able to speak as well as I can on my work is because I was able to practice that with BNI. I discovered what worked, I found what didn't work, and it gave me that confidence to be able to speak up at a second's notice.
I second that. I think one of the things that attracted me to BNI immediately was the sense of people just well-wishing you. That warmth and that desire for you to do well just transmitted. And you almost, and certainly in Roman, it's very true. Yeah. And I think it's a case of, you want to do, what you want to do well for them. You want to help them as much as they're helping you. And yeah, I think people tell me that my public speaking has improved, and it's imperceptible to us probably. I don't know how it's for you, but for me it's imperceptible. But that just it's a bit like a speech club, isn't it? It is. Like, what do you call it, Toastmasters? It's a bit like that. It is. In a sense, not really, not as an organisation, but the effect is the same. And you probably, so I agree entirely. Yeah, it is. I mean, we won't know, you don't notice it yourself because you grow incrementally. Yeah. You come in week in, week out. However, I can still remember my very first 60 seconds. Same. I think and it was along the lines of, my name's Bryn, I sell photocopiers, printers, scanners and fax machines. If you want a printer, photocopier, scanner or fax machine, please come and talk to me. I mean, that's pretty good. And that was it. Who just arrived uninvited, that's pretty good. I'd like to think my weekly presentations have moved on slightly, but I wouldn't put that to a vote. And so, what are we on now? We're let me think. 17 years on from when you joined. And so, how has it helped EvaStore? Well, it's nice coming back to it with EvaStore rather than points. It's given us access to different markets that we wouldn't normally have been able to get in touch with. And it's very nice. BNI is brilliant in that it's a marketing channel that is working away from you. Yes. So you can literally almost plant the seeds. I'm looking to gain more business in the healthcare sector. And that nice marketing channel is now moving behind the scenes without you. So you can get a phone call quite unexpectedly. Oh, I've got a contact here who might want to speak to you. I've got a contact there who might want to speak to you. It's also opened up channels that I perhaps may not have thought about. Obviously, when I came back here, I was looking at back my traditional sectors in the professional services side of things and maybe just the education sector. But then you meet people within BNI and they have completely different ideas and they come up with different avenues that you would never have explored yourself. Again, the healthcare sector is something I perhaps wouldn't have gone into. However, I've had opportunities there to... So who do you say is your ideal referral? My ideal referral, that always says this. Again, you always say the professional services. For us, it's anyone still wedded into paper. We are in what I would say a transitional period where people want to say, oh, we're paperless or paper light. However, we are at a point now where there's still a lot of information kept on paper that people don't know what to do with. We're also at that point where people are developing paper-free systems. However, they want to start integrating what was their old systems with the new systems. And that's exactly where we can come in. We can help be that bridge, that transitional point. And also, we're exploring new avenues whereby people are paper-free. We're now working with them to do their digital storage. People increasingly want to trust the cloud, various different providers. However, we can offer digital storage along the lines of that cloud systems, but in a different way that's indexed for them. Good stuff. And so, just one more thing about BNI. What would be one piece of advice you would give to a BNI member, whether they're new, just starting out, or whether they've been there for several years? What's the thing that you've learned that you'd like to pass on?
Get involved. That to me is a piece of advice for everyone in all walks of life, but for BNI especially. BNI isn't like other networking organisations. The reason BNI works as well as it does is because perhaps it takes a little bit of effort. You don't just turn up and allow it to happen, have a coffee, and then walk away and think you've done a bit of networking and something may come of it. No, if you go into BNI, you go into a BNI meeting, you become a member of a chapter, get involved, become visible, see how you can help others, and then the rewards will actually then come back to you exponentially.
Great. What's your burning desire?
My burning desire is to complete that Paddy Buckley round.
Yes.
To get that ticked off, because I've been obsessed with that for 2 years now, and it's becoming, I would like a different conversation when people ask
Sure.
what my burning desire is. But yes, I want to complete the Paddy Buckley round. I want to get my mountain leaders qualification.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be something, that'll be really nice.
Fabulous.
Point.
Do you want to talk about your joint venture with Rob Hardy?
Well, if there's an opportunity
Please.
to talk about that, yes.
Off to you.
I've been very, very fortunate. Again, through BNI, this was to meet an incredibly knowledgeable man by the name of Rob Hardy. Mm-hmm. He's a professional nutritionist and lifestyle coach. His business is called Enhanced Energy. And invariably, whenever we got together, we would talk about health and wellness. And we're very lucky in that our philosophies align very, very well. The way we believe in sustainable, healthy lifestyle choices. Lifestyle choices for longevity. Our philosophies align, and so we've started now in the last 6 months collaborating. Rob will obviously come with it from a very science-based nutritional angle. I come at it from a fitness perspective. We've started hosting a monthly seminar known as the Healthy Habits Meetup, which has gone down very well, where we will present. We're now moving this onwards. We'll now start doing webinars where we will have guest speakers from a variety of areas in. And we're just sort of moving that forward into the area of midlife fitness, midlife health, midlife wellness.
And what is the one thing that nobody knows about you that might surprise them?
I don't know. I always like to think I'm a fairly open book.
I know.
But go on.
This is my opportunity at last to ask you about it. And you don't have to talk about it one day, we can cut this. I understand you're in a coma.
Ah, yes.
Is that a thing you want to talk about?
Just get me to talk about stuff is no problem. Get me to shut up. That's the trick.
So that was what, early 90s, I believe.
I was 92.
92.
I was ill. I was actually still recovering from an accident. I had a bit of a back injury, and I was recovering from that. I got it's a viral infection, encephalitis on the brain, which is a swelling just behind the eyes. I was severe. I was not very well at all. Whereas a swelling of the brain, I was unconscious for several weeks. I came around, and like I always say to people, as my brain went back to its normal size as well, I've actually been left with a lot of scarring and around the memory centres of the brain. This is actually me brain damaged. It took me a couple of years to learn. Short and long-term memories don't form quite well with me. I've developed I was able to work with a psychologist. He has taught me about mnemonic memory techniques, whereby you take a memory and then you're able to think of a much easier image or a repetitive point to help to remind yourself of that, and then form that mnemonic memory and then place it within a house memory mansion technique, it's called. Right. And you just build this around yourself, and ironically enough, you end up with a memory that's probably slightly better than most people's.
Amazing.
Because you're actually working at it and storing it rather than relying upon just memorising things. It does mean I'm a bit slower than I used to be. This is me, slow. I used to be quite quick.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to be quite quick. But I was ill back in it's one of those points it took a little bit of recovering from.
Yeah.
It set me down on a different path, because obviously after a couple of years of working on this, you then try and work out, but I was then able to go back to college. I went back to university. and then took my life on a whole different path from where I was at the time. And that's how it is. And I think people tend to be surprised because it's now looking back 30 years ago, and it's not something I allowed to define me.
No.
It's just something that also happened.
Yeah, it's just a thing in your life.
It really is.
But I couldn't.
We're also able to say as well, quite handily and quite really, my wife, who's not great at waking up in the morning, we can actually say I've come out of a coma quicker than she can wake up in the morning.
Very good. No, I couldn't tell. I wouldn't have known that you had anything like that going on in your memory, because you come across as if somebody is not, firing all cylinders.
Yeah,
that's great. And look where you are now.
Yeah, I like to think it's as you say, these things happen.
Yeah.
And it builds you in. Yeah, absolutely. So that'll be my thing that no one knows about me.
Are you happy with that being in?
Yes, of course.
You don't want to change it to something more positive?
No.
I think it's quite positive.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like, look what you've been through and you come out of it.
No,
I think it's great.
Absolutely.
Before we wind up, I always ask you this whenever you do your 10 minutes, so I've got to ask you now, what's the big cool vault you've got in your...
The big cool vault.
As it's officially known, in big letters.
The big cool vault, yes. But actually, that is the world's big cool vault over a decoy door. It's on a different door. Obviously, our facility is very, very secure. It's got levels of door access control. It's temperature and humidity consistent. There's 28 high-definition CCTV cameras around the facility, giving us a 360-degree complete viewpoint of the area. However, as I say, there are documents that obviously cannot ever, ever, ever allow anything to happen to them, ever. And for that, we have what we call our high-security vault. That is a separate chamber within the facility. It's now got an extra layer of CCTV. It's got an extra layer of door access control to which only certain people have access. It has also got 10 tanks of inert gas outside it. And what will actually happen is, in the event of fire in the facility, within 3 seconds, the entire chamber will flood with this inert gas, quelling all the oxygen within and essentially making it a fireproof cylinder. So this place could be a smoking shell, but everything within that vault will still be absolutely fine, and it will still be paperwork. And that's where I like to get people to store the deeds to their house, their passports, all those, we're working with councils for their archives. All those documents are absolutely positively can't have anything happen to them. And we all know that we should keep these documents safe, but invariably they end up on top of the wardrobe or underneath the television or behind the sink or somewhere. But no, bring them here, and that's what we call our extra special cool vault.
I love that. But not somewhere to stay or try and hide if there's a fire, because there'll be no oxygen.
As long as you can hold your breath, you'll be fine.
Until the fire brigade arrives.
That's absolutely right.
I love it. Bryn, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.